know Supermicro that well. Yeah, HUMA had a couple 100,000 in revenue, less than 𝗍𝗐𝗐. You got super intelligence on deck. Oh yeah, you want the intro video? Want that intro? The people want the intro. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for coming. Really funny paper published out there. Replication of quantum factorization records with an 8-bit home computer, an abacus, and a dog. So they did a, this is great. You guys will love this, guys. The VIC-20 was a popular home computer in the 1980s. The VIC-20 was a popular home computer in the 1980s that used the then popular 6502 microprocessor from 1975. Since this processor uses transistors and transistors work by quantum effects, that is true. You get the PJ junctions. A 6502 is as much a quantum device as is a D-Wave quote-unquote quantum computer. The 6502 has three, count them, 3 8-bit registers. 1, 2, 3. An 8-bit data bus and a 16-bit address bus, giving it a whopping 64 kilobytes. Or that's 64 kilobits of address space. The VIC-20 had a 20 kilobit ROM and a 5 kilobit RAM with 3.5 kilobits available for applications. And this is important here, a 1 megahertz clock. A 1 megahertz clock is actually faster than most quantum computers, if not all of them. So that's 1975, right? That's literally 50 years ago. The processor has neither multiply nor divide instructions. Well, we can't all be perfect. So if we want to factor 15, we have to resort to a different technique. The easiest way is to pre-compute a multiplication table. And I guess do a lookup or something. That makes sense. Then you went to the abacus. Nice abacus. We can do abacus SPAC. Let's do spabacus. You may be able to train a dog to bark 3 times. And this is the reference dog, Scribble. He factored 15 and 27. This process wasn't as simple as it first appeared because Scribble's a very well-behaved dog and almost never barks. Having him perform the quantum factorization required having his owner play with him with a ball in order to encourage him to bark. The process was then repeated to have him bark 5 times, factorizing 35, and thereby exceeding the capabilities of the quantum factorization physics experiments mentioned earlier. Unfortunately, the process fails for SHA or RSA 2048 because the size of the factors exceeds even the most enthusiastic dog's barking ability. However, there's another process that allows us to factor even huge numbers with a dog. Scribble's preparing to replicate a quantum factorization. According to most codes of ethics, Scribble's contribution to this paper does not rise to the level where he is required to be listed as a co-author. However, since he was a participant in the work rather than the subject of the experiment, his contributions are exempt from review board approval. I think he deserves a treat for being a good boy. He's a good boy, factory numbers. I love that. This is real references. This is University of Auckland professors and a Swiss professor, Stephen Neuhaus. You find quantum mechanics boring? I don't know what to tell you. It's the most interesting in the world. You got to go watch Adrian Ross, man. Yeah, I heard IOBT had some data, but it's some weird small cap. I don't know if I want to look at it. Phase 3 melanoma study. Okay. Yeah, the people are saying that the data is kind of shaky. P-value 0.056. This is some kind of vaccine. Not the best target. Okay, so EQ is back. Go through every stock in the Russell. That sounds fun. All right, Tilray up, largest volume out there. C3 down 33%, surprise. Lowering guidance late Friday night. Intel up 2%. Rumors that they will skip a process node from Korea. AMC up a little bit. NVIDIA down 60 bips. I think one of the big things we have to figure out now in AI is GPT-5 an indicator of potential asymptote. Is it time to pause or think about pausing for NVIDIA? It's a little hard. I mean, the stock's at 182. We've been bullish here on this channel for a while. It's really tough. Like, I don't see the AI trend, kind of dissipating, but the GPT-5 launch, I think most people feel is pretty flubbed. Is that going to change anything? I don't know. I'm just trying to think about the psychology of waiting on NVIDIA to dip, to buy more, but I'm not sure I mean, LLMs are always at the most peak. They don't go down in capability, right? You maybe are talking about the momentum, but in terms of the peak second derivative, but LLMs get better every day. I mean, there's just no contesting that. Certainly if you look at evals and benchmarks. All right, what else is traded a little bit? Nothing too much. AMD's down 2%. Micron's up 5%. A lot of people excited about the high bandwidth memory that AI has to use. What stocks are up today? Small caps, I don't know very well. Lens Therapeutics, somebody was asking me to look at that last week. It is gapping up. As my old friend used to say, thrusting. FDA approves, presbyopia eye drops. Oh, that's great. I probably need that myself. When you get right around my age, it's like exactly my age, your eyes start getting tired. There's little muscles in your eyes start giving out. Monday.com disappoints, down 21%. Wow. Tesla up 2%. Morgan Stanley had a fascinating note out. I don't know if you guys want to read it with me. Let's read it together. Robonomics, nukes on the moon and the Elon quotient. Okay. This is by Adam Jonas. Pretty wild note. As the world enters into a new era of scientific development where the thinker, AI research, comes into greater mental contact with the tinkerer, manufacturing, I occasionally offer some seemingly randomly half-baked thoughts that are meant to complement the more detailed analytical work of the Morgan Stanley cross-sector research cortex on embodied AI in space. Robonomics. Have you interacted with a robot today? Have you even seen a robot today? No? Well, take a mental picture because it's all about to change. When I meet someone who has never been in a Waymo or a Tesla Cybercab, which is most people, I frequently see a wince and a response such as, I'm not sure I'd feel comfortable getting in a car without a driver. Imagine going back in time to 1903 and asking people if they feel comfortable riding in an airplane. Like most world-changing technologies, agriculture, wheel, electricity, automobile, internet, widespread adoption is ultimately a function of economics and safety, not necessarily in that order. The proliferation of AI-enabled machines into a multitude of robophyllum will follow these rules. We estimate one humanoid robot at $5 an hour, okay, can do the work of two humans at $25 an hour, generating an NPV of approximately $200K a humanoid. One robot-shaped car can potentially drive down cost per mile of a ride-share vehicle to less than 20 cents a mile, which is 1/10 of the human-driven rideshare. An autonomous eVTOL can generate the revenue of 15 rideshare vehicles. Autonomous eVTOL, okay, that sounds dangerous. The marginal cost of your personal C3PO robot should over time approach the marginal cost of power. You can't have GPUs without BTUs. Okay, so that's the NPV there. Lunar nukes. I was having dinner with some friends the other night when an unusual topic came up. Transport Secretary, NASA Chief Sean Duffy's announced goals for the US to put a 100 kilowatt nuclear reactor on the moon by 2030. My friends were skeptical, to say the least, but I explained that there's going to be quite a lot of competition between nations for who can establish nuclear power on the moon first. Solar power will be generated on the moon, including solar-derived hydrogen. But given all the heavy lifting that needs to be done to establish a sustainable colony on the lunar surface, we're going to need a lot of power, a lot of power. Think of all the data centers we're going to need up there. Since our first blue paper on the space economy in 2017, we've been telling clients that the hottest property in the solar system is the south pole of the moon. Is it too soon to think about a lunar REIT? Millions of tons of water, ice, permanent sunlight. The only downside is lack of proximity from those cozy lunar lava tubes. Lunar geologists, indeed. The Elon quotient. Most followers of Tesla's CEO Elon Musk don't hesitate when I ask them, what's Elon's #1 objective in life? He stated it countless times, establishing a permanent human settlement on Mars to help get past one of the great filters of our time, helping to preserve the light of human consciousness. Settling Mars won't be easy for a variety of reasons we don't need to outline here. We'll eventually get there, but it's going to take time. Expert opinions vary widely on this topic, but we, non-experts, tell clients to expect the first major non-human colonization efforts, the prep work, deep into the 2030s, likely conducted by robotics, yes, including humanoids. First human boots on Mars, BOM. Don't hold your breath. 2045, 2050. Of course, we could very well be wrong, but for the US to be the first nation to establish a human settlement on Mars, we'll need a healthy and sustainable economy. The Elon quotient we present below sort of unifies the economic prerequisite for US boots on Mars at a highly simplistic level. We need to secure and diversify the numerator, which is GDP, while reducing risks and increasing growth. How we get there is our collective challenge and our opportunity. This is also a very important formula in finance and economics, for other things. And that's it. Wild. IonQ trading down a little bit. IonQ did a mystery acquisition. They paid $40 million for a company, and they won't disclose what it was. It was very odd. Yeah, AVXL is getting juicy. Yeah, I don't know how Vinay is back, but he may have learned maybe don't mess with Sarepta. Leave that alone. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Loomer goes for the whole agency. Yeah, I wrote the short report, yeah. I'm probably going to write a bunch of more research, so I'm excited. Yeah, sometimes you have to refresh Godel. I recommend doing that at least once a day. Yeah, HUMA site earnings or lack thereof. I don't know, I think Loomer, she has her perspective. What are you going to do? I'm not in Tesla, no. Yeah, Galt could be another short. Why do you want to opt out of something, Ivan? Yeah, we probably could do something like that. You want to see random Indian and Chinese stocks you're never going to look at? We have ASX. Well, biotech. We have CSL. I don't know why it says euro for Australia. Maybe my guys are... Okay, here's CSL AU. Real-time ASX prices coming soon. But you could do like NI Neuron, and that's good enough, I think. NI Neuron, you should be able to get. There you go. Yeah, the V4 deal wasn't great. 5 is fine. I mean, I think they botched the rollout of 5 for sure. But, you know, Microsoft's botched many rollouts. It's always fixable and they'll be fine. Oh, D-Wave with their 2 million in revenue. They can only say quantum is now for so long before I think people give up on them. Question is, when do they give up? I'm happy to stay short because, you know, you're not going to lose money. No, I still have REPL. Yeah, thank you, Adam. Godel works pretty similarly to Bloomberg. So you use the backtick key on your keyboard, which is a little different from Bloomberg, or you can click, but you open the terminal and then you just type commands, and you have to learn the commands, but learning the commands will make you much, much faster. And even LSE with their product workspace is moving to a command-based system. So if you're not using a terminal or a command-based system, you're kind of, I don't know, to me, like that's you're probably not, you know, spending most of your time on the markets all day long. So, you know, you type in your ticker, you could hit enter if you want. And then, like I said, there's tons of commands like holders list for HDS for holders list and for news. There's some really fun ones like HMS or let's see, what's the one I'm looking for? That's like an interesting comparison. Oh yeah, GR, graph relationship. It's kind of neat. It's got some interesting data points. Time and sales, real time. Yeah, I think you can on ACM, you can rebind the backtick key. So you go to ACM and you can rebind backtick on, oh, it's PDF actually, PDF. And you can rebind backtick. You can do a couple of other keyboard overrides. Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff coming. Don't worry. HUMA site now down 27%. Yeah, the 15% tariff is, I guess, a little unexpected. I have a child's name. Yes, you'll see it very soon. Maybe as soon as a week, 1 to 2 weeks. Baby's coming. Paternal leave. Man, I'm out here getting money. Take no paternal leave, bro. Markets don't take paternal leave. I mean, I'm gonna play with them. I'm gonna chill with them. I'm not saying I'm not gonna hang out with my kid, you know. I'm gonna be there for him. I'm gonna raise him from time to time. You got time for that, man. I got time for me. You got time for him? My portfolio is getting smoked. Yeah, you'll meet the mommy at some point. She's not afraid of live stream. Throw a cheese slice at him? Is that serious? I will do it. Yeah, I'm putting money back in the purse, baby. We were turning money to the purse for the first time ever. And she said, why is money in my purse? I said, Robert must have returned it, man. I don't know. Listen, man, I say till death do us part, you know? I love wifey. Named little homie EBITDA. Adjusted non-cash earnings. Get over here. You're in big trouble. Did you take stock-based comp out of the income statement?
Again? What did I tell you about that?
Oh no, Dad, what are you gonna do? Get the belt?
I'm calling the SEC on you.
What?
But you're my dad. I know. It's gonna hurt me more than it hurts you. Mr. Shkreli, please stop calling here.
If my kid uses technical analysis, God help him. Putting him up for adoption.
Yeah, unfortunately, I grew up with the belt. Not good. Not good. Very chaotic and traumatic, but you know, what are you gonna do? Life was different back then. Today, you got the teacher telling the kid what his gender is at 6 years old. Factor his numbers with an abacus.
I don't know. I don't get what Joe Rogan's even trying to do, to be honest. I mean, I would do it if I was asked, but it's not like I'm super enthusiastic about it. No Coreweave for me, but it would be interesting to see. Wow, maybe it's expensive for any of these stocks should not be trading at anything more than 5-10 times sales, because I mean, you're just buying GPUs and plugging them in. I mean, really, it's not. I'm not trying to trivialize the business. These guys do it really well, but I have a new alternative data set that I'm going to be hopefully putting on Goodell, so I can look at stuff like Lulu or Nike and see how the quarter is kind of going. Let's go, Fred. Thank you. Yeah, make sure you get your colleagues and friends on Goodell. Type org to set up your organization.
Company to pay for it. It's market research.
We're going to look at Rigetti earnings. I don't know if we're slaying it. I mean, we're just short the stock, so of course I'm going to look at the earnings. We are short ATYR, yeah. It's one of our biggest shorts, if not our biggest. I think it's our biggest. Yeah, Symphony, we're working on it. Yeah. Strept earnings were fine. They made $200 million in the quarter. It's pretty great. They can do that. It's 2 times earnings. 5 to 10 times sales. Earnings are a function of, earnings multiple is a function of earnings risk and earnings growth. So risk meaning, what are the risks that the company's earnings could disappear or lessen or whatever, and then growth is sort of the same thing, which is, are they going to accelerate or decelerate? But I think of risk as more like component of revenue than anything else. So like if a company has one business, it's kind of got a different risk from other busises, but that can also be beta. It probably has more beta, kind of have to deal with that accordingly. Biggest longs are Abivax, ABVX, Sarepta. Might trim some Sarepta here. $19 now. Nice.
If a company's market cap is very high relative to their sales and earnings, I mean, the market is basically telling you we expect a major change in revenue and or earnings, and that change should be coming in a discounted fashion, right? So like you can back into like the discount rate and kind of the expectations for eventual revenue.
Yeah, they bought a company, they didn't disclose what it was. And they're not necessarily disclosing all the inorganic. It's very strange. I don't know. I think IonQ is like such a clear short. I mean, are they going to acquire their way to success? It just doesn't make sense. Bottom for CAPR, 0. Got a joke that doesn't work. That's a problem. They said it's a business marketing or business information company. I forgot what it was. I'm wondering if they bought Shai's company. I wouldn't be that surprised. Got to put that man on the payroll for the beating that he took. Binary for AT, same thing for me, 𝗞𝗬𝗕𝗦. Binary for ATYR is like September 15th, probably. So we still got like 30 days. I know that was one of my early videos, Phil. That's all I really know is people bring it up from time to time. Ooh, ATYR up 8%. The pain, the suffering, it hurts so much. I think 𝗦𝗫 is not going to even think about Sarepta anymore. He's going to avoid the subject. He knows what's good for him. I think this is around my entry price for ATYR. Well, earnings are the big negative catalyst for quantum. Now the earnings are out of the way. Conviction level for ATYR is a 10 out of 10.
But yeah, I see the squeeze. I'm getting squeezed. It is painful.
ATYR is a short. It is going to 50 cents or $1. So is IonQ. Yeah, I was going to make a second quantum ETF that's like more quantum. Like the first one has like Palantir that has like nothing to do with quantum. Yeah, it's kind of in Jensen's best interest to overhype quantum, isn't it? So when they inevitably can't deliver, kind of wild market. Coreweave up 8%. Quantum D-Waves, IonQ is an astonishing 9%.
Unbelievable. I don't know what's going on with the macro, to be honest.
Yeah, Rigetti's not even up. It's kind of crazy. So this is a good pair trade. Just IonQ really is up.
Susquehanna couldn't be happier, man. It's like investing in NFTs, man. It all come crashing down. It's fun for now. Problem Cinderella is it will strike midnight. And then it's all pumpkins and mice.
Why is Con railing all his followers probably over leveraged on puts? Well, thankfully I tell people never to buy puts.
I haven't traded a single option. Do you want to read the latest IonQ report?
Revenue estimates move higher, but our eyes are still on the roadmap. Raising price target from 30 to 32. Neutral rating, not a buy. Should I call these people? Okay, so they raised guidance after exceeding expectations, but drivers somewhat murky given M&A. Revenue moves higher, at least in part inorganically, but Quantum remains competitive. Integrated acquired assets such as Oxford to deliver a leadership roadmap will be key. Lack of profitability, guidance for EBITDA losses widened 30%, and premium multiple gives us reservations. But Quantum is an exciting greenfield opportunity. Tech roadmap most critical, where IonQ plans to significantly exceed the competition by 2027, with an exponentially widening gap thereafter. You know, me too. Same thing, that's my plan for 2027. I'm going to exponentially exceed the competition. Watch out, competitors. A market intelligence business. So they're going to basically abandon their ion traps, or their laser systems at least, and move to the IonQ. Move to the Oxford stuff. I like this. 12 logical qubits by next year. Okay. 800 by 2027. Shores is done. And by 2030, 2 million physical qubits. And 80,000 logic. IBM is saying 200 logical by 2029. Nothing about fidelity in here. 50 to 70 times price to sales. Bruh. Oh, they're Oxford Ionics bankers. Bear case is $3 a share. Never want to read research like that again. No, I mean, I don't think it was that bad. It was just like, I think they raised some good points. It's just a question of like giving too much deference to like big market and stuff like that. Well, I was pulling up old bubble notes from like 99 and 2000. It was interesting. This old Cisco one, that's pretty funny. Cramer was exquisitely good at buying momentum stocks and dumping them at just the right time. He just had that feeling where he was like, yeah, sell it, whatever. He's like, I want to sell it. I want to sell it. I almost can see him from 2000. I can't sell it. I'll go and sell it. And it would crash and be like, should we short it? He had very good timing. And he'd always say better lucky than good. I'd rather be good, but I want to be lucky too.